from SamiraWilliams.com. I wanted to drop in and say hello. I hope that you are well. I wanted to chat today briefly about what to do when you think it's taken too long, what to do when you feel like it's never going to work, and what to do when it feels like you are never going to get there. So, I am Samira. I am a licensed psychotherapist and trauma resolution coach. And so much of the work that I see with clients and that I spent within myself for so long as I was healing my own trauma, um, making sure we're live on all the places. When we think it's taking too long, we can often feel like we're never going to get there. We can often feel like we're never going to make it. It's never going to work. It's taking too long. What's wrong with me? What am I doing wrong? Why is it not working? We can make it about ourselves. We can really point the lens inward versus allowing the lens of life to be pointed outward externally. We can really focus on ourselves. And this is such the truth for children who experience trauma. Children have to, for their own sanity and survival, they have to attach a meaning to something. So if the sky is falling, they have to attach a meaning to why the sky is falling. And so oftentimes the children, all children, right, make things about themselves. It's a stage of development, but often when that stage doesn't get completed, right, in a timely manner, it's like that stage gets stuck on buffering. And so the child is making things mean something about him or her or them. If the parents divorced, it must be because I'm bad. If someone passed away, it must be because um, things just aren't fair. Maybe I did something wrong. If I had been different, if I had been better, if I had been a better listener, if something had been different, then the outcome would be different. And so we make up these narratives about all the things. And as we get older, that way of thinking doesn't go away. And so we internalize things when things, and as we get older, don't go our way, we often can make it mean something about us. We can internalize it versus making it bigger and stepping out of the frame of life and stepping into infinite presence. Some might call it God, source, universe, right? When we step into this infinite presence that I believe is God, when we step into this God consciousness, this bigger picture, we're able to see, wait, maybe this wasn't really about me at all, but I thought that it was. And it became a misunderstanding. And so now I'm basing things off of this misunderstanding. I'm basing things in my life, my choices, my decisions off of a misunderstanding that felt big and scary and detrimental and maybe even like the end of the world at the time when I was in the trauma, when I was in the situation that was too much for my system, my nervous system to handle at the time, because that's all trauma is, something that's too much for your nervous system to handle at the time. And so when we are later in our life, we're able to process and integrate. No, thank you. No, thank you. My puppy is hanging out under my desk. When we're able to process this and integrate these truths about our situation, about what happened, these higher perspectives, these higher thinking faculties, we're able to say, hey, you know what? Maybe it's okay if that didn't go the way I thought it should have at the time. Maybe I'm really still on my way, even though it feels like I'm going so slowly, even though it feels like this is taking forever, even though it feels like I might never get there, even though it feels like this might never work for me, even when it feels like, why do I even try? It's never gonna work. Even when we feel like that, it's just a feeling. Feelings are not facts. And the truth is, we are able to convict our mind when we have the right tools, the right resources, the right ways to think about something. And we're able to come into that coherence within ourself, this place of deep integration within one's own self. And we're able to understand that even though it might take you or me or us longer to get somewhere, who says that's bad? That's just a story that we've made up. That if it takes you longer, that's bad, that's wrong, you're on the wrong path, it's not working. That's just a story. We as humans have the power to change the story that we're telling. So I'm encouraging you to think about today, are there any stories that you're telling yourself around this is taking too long, this is never going to work, maybe I'm doing something wrong, maybe it won't ever work and I should give up? When in truth, taking a step back and detaching from the timeline and asking yourself, is this what I'm truly called to do? Whatever it is, mothering, a position, parenthood, work that you're doing, a side hustle, who you want to be in the world. Is this what I'm committed to doing? If it's a yes, then why does it matter how long it takes? If I know the foundational principles, if I know everything is always working out for me, that God source universe is going to work all things together in the end for my good. If it's not all worked together yet, it's not the end. If I know that nothing that was sent to destroy me is going to work, if I know that in my soul, does it matter how long me getting to the desired destination actually takes? If the journey is really about the process, becoming is a process. So if I can become playful, curious, open to the process of becoming, it can be so helpful in actually getting there faster, but also having a more joyous experience in the process of becoming and getting there. What does that look like? If you're going to win in the end, no matter what, then could you choose to have fun today, no matter what it looks like? In your bank account, on the scale, no matter how you're feeling in your body today. I know that some of us are facing, you know, dire circumstances, and I am in no way overlooking those circumstances. But what if your joy, your ability to be grateful in this moment for for who you are and for your ability to get yourself where you want to go. If you're watching this, if you're hearing this, if you've gotten yourself this far in your life, you can get yourself where you want to go. I promise you. It will take support, it will take faith, it will take some doing the work, right? But you've already done all of those things, or I believe you wouldn't still be here. So if that's the case, is what you're believing in worth doing the good work, continuing down your path, knowing it doesn't matter how long it takes if I know in the end I'm going to win no matter what. If you believe that, if you know it to be true, because you have survived 100% of your bad days so far, wouldn't it be interesting if you begin to just experiment and play around with the idea that you will get there no matter how long it takes? So, how about we release the attachment to this linear way of having to do things? I know we're in a physical world, we have physical needs. I get that. I so get that. But what if for a moment, just in your mind, you were willing to accept, I can let this be easier? It's a choice. I might be going through hard things, but how can I let this be easier? How can I allow even the process to be easier? Even the process of becoming can be easier if we surrender our control and our attachment to it having to be hard. I would love to know what you're taking away from this. What's the thing that you're willing to release your attachment to around this idea that if it's taking longer than you thought, that maybe you're on the wrong path? What if you're in the perfect place you're meant to be for what you're being called to do in this season, and you're only ever being called to choose yourself, your higher power, and knowing that for many of us, the battle always is understanding that we have more personal power than we realize. And we are worthy and deserving of using that personal power to move us toward our dreams, our mission, the thing that we're here, the things that we're here to do. I love you so much, and I will be back soon to talk more about all things being beautifully human and using our power to speak up about the things that matter